shielded by Beskar armor. His face is hidden behind a T-visored mask, and his past is wrapped in mystery. On today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Black Series The Mandalorian action figure. And here we have him, standing straight out of the box without any poses or accessories. And my first impressions, I'm not sure about the plastic cape on this figure. I would have liked to see a soft goods one, but we'll see. Also, I really like all the paint application and sculpting that was done on this figure. This look is, of course, from the very first episode of The Mandalorian. Even like the very first 20 or 30 minutes of the episode, because by the end of the first episode, he got his Beskar pauldron. I believe it was his right pauldron that got replaced by Beskar, I'm not sure. But yeah, I really like all the battle damage, scratches and dirt that was done to this figure. And here we have his accessories that he comes with. Let's take a look at the sniper rifle first, also known as the Amban Phase Blaster Rifle. As you can see, it has some nice paint applications to it. The pointy end is kind of a silver paint done to it. And the hilt is painted brown to indicate that it's made of wood, of course. Here's the other end. And as you can see, there's a little peg here. This actually works to, you can actually plug it into the back of the Mandalorian. As you can see, this his bandolier, there's a hole. You have to kind of line it up. Then if you just, you do have to apply some pressure, but as you can see, it stays. It's not a snug fit. Like, it will stay there, but if I just kind of, well, of course now it doesn't want to get out, but trust me, if I had some issues with this because it just seems to fall off every time, but now it seems to be pretty snug. All right, now I can't seem to get it out. Okay, moving on to his pistol, which is the, I believe it's called the IB-94. It has a silver paint application to it as well, but the hilt is painted kind of grayish. It's not silver. But I don't think that's accurate, because the hilt is supposed to be brown, just like the sniper rifle's hilt. But it's nice enough, and this, actually, you can take the Mandalorian, there's a little weapon holster. You can put it in there nicely. Again, I mean, this is a pretty snug fit. You just have to peg this in here, and boom. It's pretty snug. That's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so now let's get into the details of the figure. Let's get into the details, starting from top to bottom. I really like all this dirt and mud that they applied to the helmet. It really captures the kind of wear and tear the helmet had in the very first episodes of The Mandalorian, because it's not as shiny and new looking as you've seen in season 2, for example. I almost feel like the T-visor is a bit too narrow. But I mean, you know, Boba Fett's is way wider than this. Maybe it is, maybe this is this narrow, and I'm not sure. You can see the plastic cape does get in the way sometime. And if you have the sniper rifle plugged in, sometimes what happens is that the cape kind of falls onto the sniper and kind of pushes it out of the plug hole. So that's why it kind of falls out. As far as I'm concerned, you know, this is a very nicely sculpted cape, at least. If it was not as wrinkly, I would have probably just taken it off and put a soft goods cape on this, but this is fine enough. It could be a bit darker, actually, because this is a very light gray, even in person. So moving on to his chest area. This bandolier part is actually kind of separate. It's not sculpted on, so you can kind of move it out of the way if you want. And These are actually supposed to be red here. There's like a red button on these detonators. So if you wanna, you can just take a red pencil or pen or something, and you can just put some dots on there to make it more accurate. This is the back part. There's nothing really there, but I mean, there is actually some dents in here, everything, which is nice because you can't really see the back of the figure very much, so it's nice that they done this. The weapon holster, the van braces. Look at all this battle damage on the shoulder as well. Very nice looking, as well as on the chest piece. Here, of course, he has the ammunition for a sniper rifle. All right, let's get into the articulation part. Mind that this is my personal copy of the figure, so I might be a bit more careful with it. Moving on to articulation, starting from head to bottom. His head is on a ball joint, and it's not on a hinge actually, it's just a ball joint, it seems like. It does go up, down this much, which is all right. Up a little bit. The cape hinders it a bit. That's all right actually, and it rotates all the way around, of course. Oh, it's gotten a little loose actually. The arms, there's no butterfly joint, there's just a single, there's a hinge, goes out about this much. The pauldron doesn't get in the way actually. It even though this is pretty hard, but it does not hinder the articulation at all. There's a rotation, the lower arm. There's a single joint in the lower arm. It goes, well, about 90 degrees. The left arm has a horizontal hinge for kind of holding his gun, I believe. And the right hand is a vertical hinge, of course, because it's a kind of a gun holding hand, trigger finger. The torso is on a ball joint, but the bandolier kind of hinders it. You don't want to stretch it too far. It goes back about this much, can go side to side this much, goes forward about this much. It's all right actually. The legs go side this much. This armor piece hinders it a little bit. I don't want to stretch it too far. His leg does not go back whatsoever. This is as far as it can go. There is a cut on the thighs here, so you can move that around. Goes forward about this much. The thigh armor hinders it a little bit. There's a double jointed knees. That's really good actually. And then the ankles are on a pivot. It goes forward this much, back this much, and it has some rocker. All right, let's get into size and comparisons. Size-wise, the Mandalorian figure seems to be standing at approximately 15 centimeters to the top of his head, which in inches translates to 6 inches exactly in height. Comparison-wise, here we have him standing next to the new Star Wars The Black Series Mandalorian Stormtrooper, and they seem to be at exactly about the same height. Comparing him to a 7-inch scale figure, this is the Diamond Select Boba Fett. As you can see, he kind of towers over the Mandalorian. And then here we have him standing next to a can of Coca-Cola, just for funsies. And final thoughts on the figure. I'm personally a very big fan of the armor that he used to wear in the early episodes of the show, with all the awareness and battle damage, and it just made him a bit more vulnerable, you know. He didn't have this unbreakable full Beskar plate yet, and I think that kind of added to the whole bounty hunter survivor character that we used to have. Accessories that he maybe should have come with, maybe a tracker fob that he used to track down Grogu or Baby Yoda or the child, however you want to call him. maybe an ingot of Beskar that he got as an early payment for the job. And as far as the cloak or cape, yeah, it would have been nice to have a soft goods cape, but I understand that for this price on the figure, it's kind of better to just get a plastic one. But well, I think this is actually nice because, as I've said, it's nicely sculpted. It has the right wrinklage and everything. It fits nicely. Um, but I do say that it should be a bit darker, I think, just a one shade darker. Um, it's very nice that he comes with both of his weapons, the sniper rifle and the pistol. And it's also very nice he can store all the weapons on his body. That's something that I really like about any action figure. You can put the sniper rifle on his back. Of course, now he has it in his hands because I wanted to show you that he can in fact hold it with both hands, and he can holster the pistol in its holster on the right, which is very nice. So that's all. It was me, the collector. If you liked the video, consider leaving a like. If you didn't like the video, consider leaving a dislike. And if you like what I'm doing, then consider subscribing to my channel. And goodbye.